Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom with Jay Wise and Nathan Drinkard. I'm your host, Cody Ward. Thanks for spending some of your time with us tonight. What's going on, guys?
Let's talk some sports, baby.
This is
A Drink of Wisdom.
All right, fellas, let's wrap up tonight in the NBA with a look at our top 5 power rankings. Season's frozen right now, so we're just gonna see what the basically on the court looked like right when the season froze. And let's not waste any time. Drink. Who's your give me your top 5?
Okay, well, you know my number one shouldn't be no surprise. It's only the best offensive duo that's smoking right now in the NBA, and that's the Los Angeles Lakers. And let's be real here, King James, AD doing their thing, and they was ready to go ahead and get it on when the playoffs started, but we seen what happened. Number two, I'm gonna go with the other team in LA. The best, I would say, this duo is the best two-way duo in the game right now with PG-13 and Kawhi Leonard going down there. And the thing that we like to talk about when we talk about the Clippers is that the others, as they're called, we have seen occasions where they haven't showed up. I know, but when they do show up, you better pack your lunch, baby, because they coming to give you that work. We're gonna move on to number 3. Milwaukee is good. Don't get me wrong. Milwaukee is good. But I'm starting to really look at Milwaukee like a one-man show over here. I really am. It's starting to get real iffy out here in these streets. When Giannis ain't there, they looking, about as frail. They looking real frail. They look like they never hit legs in the gym. Like they looking like a frail pair. Because Middleton, he ain't it. I'm sorry. You know who the second, in my opinion, who the second best player of the Bucks is? I'm not
Brook
even bull
Lopez.
crapping. Yes, I was gonna say George Hill, but I can go with Brook Lopez too. And here's the thing, and that's outrageous when you think Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe is on this team. That's outrageous. But he said Brook Lopez. I say George Hill. Like, come
Well,
on,
yeah,
man. The Milwaukee's
you've been out on Middleton, and you know how I feel about Bledsoe, so I knew it wasn't him. So I was just going with somebody else. I'm surprised we didn't say Mike Budenholzer.
Oh, yeah, process elimination, huh? At its finest. And then number 4, I'm gonna go to Beantown, them Celtics, where my boy Jason Tatum is starting to step up to the plate and give Kemba Walker that much needed help. They starting to look good. Brad Stevens, his philosophy of coaching is starting to look really, really well with that team. And they're gelling at the right time. So I'm liking that. And one thing I like about the Celtics is their young guys are stepping up to the plate. So these guys that they drafted 4 years ago, those guys are coming up. They didn't need like someone like some hard cap veteran to come in and galvanize the team. And no, they kind of grew. And now they're this team that you look at and you like, oh man, the stars of this team are the young bucks. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kemba Walker's a stud, but Kemba Walker is kind of like a guy on this team. You always say this team is full of, you say B minus, B plus guys, I'm going to say.
Yep.
And I see why more and more when I watch them play, why you say that. It's like Kemba Walker is the guy with multiple All-Stars, but he's not that far ahead of Jason Tatum. He's not that far ahead of Jaylen Brown. And even this how even the team is. Gordon Hayward get to flap around and go and play and make sand castles and nobody even care. Like nobody has even bothered Gordon Hayward one time. They're like, hey, go ahead, man, just do what you do. We gonna show up, play the game. We're gonna win with good team ball. And Brad Stevens just yeah, let's do it. So I really like what the Celtics bring in number 4. And number 5, I had to put a little sauce on it. I had to put a little drippy drip. I wanted to be different. And I went with the Denver Nuggets. Nah, I know. I ain't been the biggest supporter of the Denver Nuggets. But you know what? The results are the results. I look at them. It was between them and the Raptors. I don't know what the Raptors would do under the bright lights without Kawhi Leonard. but I do know what the Nuggets will do because this is pretty much the same team that made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. So if I had to flip a coin, get the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to go with the Denver Nuggets. So that's my top 5. I got the Lakers, Clippers, Bucks, Celtics, and the Nuggets. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, we made these lists separately. In the end, as of now, we reached the same conclusion. And to be clear, before I lay these out here, this is as of right now. This is not a projection because my projection and Drink's projection would probably be that there would be some differences there for sure. But as of right now, especially considering the recency bias that power rankings generally come with, what have you done for me in the most recent crop of games? The Lakers, I think they got to be number one, especially when you consider that Friday and Saturday, the way they took out the Bucks and then took out the Clippers at full strength. Those were major victories, as big a 2-game stretch you can have in a regular season. Especially considering the Clippers, that was the first game the Lakers faced the Clippers that they were really truly at full strength. This was after the addition of Marcus Morris. This was with Paul George being at full strength. So those were huge deals, and it proved a lot to me. So that's why I got them at number 1. I like the Clippers at number 2. I just think there's too much there. You mentioned how their duo stacks up with the Lakers. You got to give the duo edge to the Lakers at this point because Anthony Davis just looks locked in, and we're still waiting for that consistency from Paul George. The depth of the Clippers ultimately, I believe, will make the difference. But, I mean, when they played each other recently, Marcus Morris came out there and just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That's just what happened. Lou Williams been a little inconsistent recently. I love what they get in from Montrezl Harrell night in, night out. I love what he brings to the table. And you know what Kawhi going to do for you. And then we go to Eastern Conference with the Milwaukee Bucks. They've been the best team wire to wire up until recently when Giannis got hurt against the Lakers. And then we got to bring that up at some point as how it relates to the MVP race. Because you talk about all the time, and rightfully so, how the Lakers offensively look lost from time to time with LeBron off the court. The Bucks as a team, they seem to not even be able to just compute basketball without Giannis on the court. And that's just amazing. They got an all-star level player in Chris Middleton out there. You got Eric Bledsoe, who you just gave 4 years, $60 million, and is supposed to do something for you. I can't find him half the time on the court. He's either just hoisting up jump shots, which that just annoys me to no end because you're not a jump shooter. He's not getting to the rim. There's just so much wrong. That's enough time on Eric Bledsoe for the evening. But again, the Bucks supporting cast, I think when Giannis, and again, this break is going to be beneficial to a lot of teams. Everybody, for the most part, should come back healthy. Giannis will come back healthy, and that should kind of reset things. And the Bucks should still be, by and large, the class of the Eastern Conference. We continue to go down this. I like the Celtics. I know they're in third out east. I know Toronto's in front of them by 3 games, but the performances I've seen recently out of Jason Tatum, I talk about the B to B plus guys. I told you it wasn't going to be from Kemba. It was going to have to be some other guy that had to step up and elevate their game. Jason Tatum's been doing that. I'm thinking about that performance he had against the Lakers when he dropped, 40? It was a spectacular performance. And those are the type of things I'm looking at. It's going to be the Celtics and how far they go is going to be determined by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Yeah, Kemba's going to come out there and do his thing. And Gordon Hayward, I guess he's just the X factor at this point. I guess anything, if you get 20 a night from him, that'll just be an added bonus. But the Celtics with Jason Tatum and you get Jaylen Brown, get him incorporated in it off that hamstring injury. The Celtics, I think they're the most dangerous team that the Bucks have to be concerned about. And then I'm not gonna throw shade at the Raptors. I think it's remarkable the season the Raptors have had after losing Kawhi Leonard in free agency. Pascal Siakam is proven once again he's in the conversation for most improved player, which would be an absolutely ridiculous accomplishment, winning that award 2 years in a row. He's playing like a max player. He's earning his money. the depth that they have is something to be commendable. And those guys, they flat out defend for Nick Nurse. So that's my top 5. I would love to have another Western Conference team up there, but that's where I'm at. The drop off after the Lakers and Clippers, even though the West has really good depth, they're just not as top heavy in the 3 to 4 or 5 range. There's a significant drop off, and that's part of the reason I don't have another Western Conference team in my top 5. Every other Western Conference team to me, their ceiling is the Western Conference semifinals.
Yeah, I've got the same 5 as you, just in a little bit different order. We all have the Lakers number 1. I think they are still the team to beat right now. They're still they're pretty much the hottest team in the league besides the Bucks. And over the last couple games, they're probably even a little hotter. They finally got their big win over the Clippers, so you got that bit of a monkey off their back in that regard. And yeah, I mean, LeBron and AD are just. I mean, LeBron was playing at an MVP level in most seasons, and AD could easily win Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, they to me are the best team right now, as if my finger is on the pulse today. Number 2, I've got the Bucks at 2, just because they do have the best player probably in the league right now, which is Giannis, and a full consideration of everything. And they've been the best team as far as record goes in the league. So I have enough respect to believe them at 2. The injury to Giannis and how bad they looked, I mean, I'm not forgetting it. But unless I knew, oh God, Giannis is out 2-3 weeks or something, or I guess with the pause, that's not really a case. But just say the season was still going. If he was hurt, I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, they got to go down. But we know when the season does pick up, he'll be there and healthy. So for now, with that discounted, I've got them at 2. But yeah, the Clippers are hot on their heels. The only thing with the Clippers is, again, Paul George is kind of sputtering. The Clippers strike me as probably like if I was at the racetrack with the race car, I had the biggest, baddest engine at the track, but I got a spark plug wire. The timing's not right. I got to fine tune it. I'm not there yet, but the potential is this is the best team in the league. They're just not quite there yet. They got a few things to work out. The Celtics at 4. I mean, Jason Tatum over the last month of the season before it stopped was probably averaging 30-something points a game. I mean, he was taking over. You're seeing bona fide superstar stuff out of that kid, and it's not just, oh, we had one great game one time on national TV and then turn back into a pumpkin. No, he's been doing it for a while now, and now it's becoming really consistent, and that's scary when you consider all the other depth they have. And then I'll throw in, Marcus Smart. He's a guy that, hey, come playoff time, that's a dude you want on your team. I mean, a dude like him that's falling for all those loose balls, running around playing defense, and might actually shoot a bunch of threes and make them randomly. Hey, what more can you want in the playoffs? And and I got the Raptors at 5. It's so hard to disrespect what they're doing. I mean, I get it. If I was projecting the end of the season, they wouldn't be on here. But for right now, with the teams that are playing the best ball right now, you look at what they're doing, man. It's so hard to just not be amazed and go, yeah, they deserve to be a top 5 team for now. And that's it. Close with Denver. I'll give you that drink. They're 4-4 in their last 8. That's probably the only reason I'd maybe keep the Raptors above them. But they're close. You're right. Denver is probably the more seasoned team, and if I had to bet on a team, it'd be Denver in the playoffs or going further. But yeah, for now, so that's what I've got, Jay. Same 5 as you, just in a little bit different order.